Is it wrong to say I was enticed to learn about Lavender Coffee Boutique because of the name? Maybe. I love lavender and coffee and boutiques. But then I began learning about the business and its owner, and that made me sure I wanted to meet her and get the full story behind the company. I'm Courtney Drake McDonough, the publisher of the InGoodTasteDenver.com blog and host of the In Good Taste Denver podcast. And my guest today is Lindsay Sozio, founder of Lavender Coffee Boutique. Welcome, Lindsay. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So let's dive in with what Lavender Coffee Boutique is and where it's located.
Sure, absolutely. We like to consider ourselves an intentional coffee experience. We are a coffee shop, and also a retailer. And we like to think of ourselves as a way to make your first good decision of the day, having a healthier coffee and a healthier routine. We have two locations right now. Our first location is on South Pearl Street in the Platt Park neighborhood. And we are also located in Club Greenwood, which is a high-end luxury fitness facility in Greenwood Village. And we are actually in the midst of building our third location, which is in Cherry Hills.
Oh, exciting.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what explain the boutique part of it?
Sure. So we approached this idea with a thought that we wanted to have a small, intimate, curated experience for our customers. And so we created something that felt a little more boutique-y than the traditional coffee shop feel. So people can come in, they can enjoy a healthier coffee, they can relax, have a moment of calm, and have a really curated experience while they're with us.
Okay. How long has have you been open since the beginning of the first store?
So the first store in Pearl Street opened about 2 years ago. We're actually going to be celebrating our second anniversary at the beginning of December. So we'll have some fun stuff in store for that.
Now that's impressive. Three locations within 2 years. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
So what's the story behind you starting it, including tell us what you were doing before you were in this business?
Sure. I've had I guess, a bit of a non-linear experience and journey to get to where I am now. Um, I started my career, it was in New York City in marketing and advertising. And I shifted from that after having children to getting more into interior design and had a small interior design business. And then my husband and and I'll talk more about this later, I think, but my husband and I worked together and we came up with this idea that we wanted to change the way people approach coffee. So we developed this idea of lavender coffee as a place to bring more intentionality into your mornings and into your morning routines. Um, and we're kind of we're trying to shift the way that people view their morning coffee routine.
Okay, all right. Tell us about the beans you choose and the way in which you approach roasting.
Sure. So we have our own roastery here in Denver. It's local. We have a fabulous roaster. He has quite the most amazing palate. He sources and roasts all of our beans for us. We very carefully choose the green beans that we buy. We like to invest in small farm holders around the globe. And we generally look for a bean that it's naturally has an inherent sweetness, has a lower acid profile, and so with that, we try to create coffees that have a more, a gentle acid and a sweeter profile and a really smooth body. So that actually starts with the beans that we buy, and then the way we roast them brings that out even more.
All right. I'm always interested in businesses run by couples because my husband and I work together, and I understand your husband works with you, and you mentioned him a moment ago. What do you bring to the endeavor, and what does he bring to it?
Sure. So we bring different qualities. Uh, Scott is has a finance background, so he comes from a finance and investing standpoint, and I come from more of the creative marketing, environmental, meaning interiors portion of it. So I think we have two skill sets that really complement each other. You know, he can look at the numbers and he can analyze that really, really well. And I can say, well, this is the sort of brand story that I want to tell with what we're doing. I think at the end of the day, we have a common vision, and sometimes we have different approaches to how we would like to get to that vision and ideas for how things should go. But I think having the two sides to the coin really it's made us stronger and made the business feel more coherent and like we're able to look at everything from multiple angles and understand where we want to go.
Wow. And so neither of you had coffee in your backgrounds at all. That's so that must have been an interesting initial conversation. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I know this is nothing we do at all
Yeah.
except that we enjoy coffee, but let's go into the coffee business. So that,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, neither of us have any coffee experience before this. We just had this idea that we wanted to create this great environment for people to come and enjoy a cup of coffee and have a good, authentic experience and have it in a really beautiful, inviting, warm, comfortable environment.
mhm. And yet you're, despite not having experience in that, the experiences you had, like you've said, those are the kinds of experiences a new business needs, and to have you both inherently have those skill sets, I'm sure was, well, obviously it was an advantage to you. Um, yeah.
It's been an advantage for sure. I think there's also been a huge learning curve in getting into the coffee industry and being a small business in Denver and learning about our staff and the kinds of that's been a it's been a journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I think going into a business where you just have so much passion for it, like that's huge, rather than having all that knowledge but and experience, but not really having the passion behind it. You're not going to succeed. So I think what you guys did makes total sense to me anyway.
Thanks.
There are a lot of coffee shops out there, as you know, and quite a few independent coffee purveyors. So, what made you and your husband feel like you were offering something that would stand out in the marketplace? And if so, if you would tell us, what is that something that makes you stand out?
Sure. I guess at in this point in the world, it felt like when you go to get your coffee in the morning, it's just a caffeine fix or a caffeine transaction. And I think what we bring to the table is a more human experience, an authentic connection, an invitation to slow down and to take a minute and reflect and think about, okay, this is where I am at this very moment, and I'm going to be in this moment and feel present. And so I think we're doing something that's very different in that way. Our all of our baristas and our staff are trained to try to have that connection with each customer. Be personable. How is your day going? Hope you have a great day. Like those kinds of just it can be really simple things, but just feeling like we're in such a fast-paced, technology-heavy world that the idea of slowing down and taking a minute, I think, is one that seems to be resonating.
Mhm. So, do most people come in and stay a while, or do most people come in and get their coffee and leave?
They do. And it's funny because we're doing an exercise right now where we're looking at ordering some, more branded cups and so we're going through and trying to figure out for here orders versus to go orders. And it turns out that a lot of people keep their coffee and they sit there and they come and they enjoy their moment, or they read a book or they connect with a friend or they have a little meeting, or um, and so it's been really nice to see that.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Tell us about your menu. What are some of the items on it?
Sure. So as I said, we roast all of our coffee in-house. And at the roasting facility is here in Denver. We also make all of our syrups in-house. So, it always smells really wonderful on the days that the staff is making, the vanilla syrup or the Earl Grey lavender syrup. They make it there behind the bar. So those are really nice menu items that people can add to their drinks. We have a seasonal menu that changes with each season. Right now we're in our fall menu still. And I think the highlight of that one is probably the tiramisu latte, that we make our own tiramisu um, syrup, and then we have a little mascarpone in there, and we serve it with a lady finger. And if you get it to stay in the shop, then it's served actually in a martini glass with with the dipped lady finger. So that's a really fun one. We also have created some on tap beverages like our lavender haze, which is it's a cold brew uh, draft latte. So it has our Earl Grey lavender syrup in it, cold brew, and oat milk. And it just comes out this nice, frothy, refreshing, tasty, uh, easy to drink latte.
Hmm. Do you have a variety of types of beans that you're roasting?
We do,
Okay.
yes. So our beans, we have blends. So our Pearl Street blend is our base for all of our espresso drinks. We also have a our Platt Park Dark Roast, which is a low acid coffee. Um, and that is a great dark roast for, at home brewing if you want to do a cold brew or, a real espresso. And then we also have our Bluebird blend, which is a lighter roast that we developed. And we do some single origins. Right now, we've just relaunched our Guatemala La Bella. And so we try to work with farms that we can have relationships with. So, we'll continue to order beans from the same farms and the same farmers season after season.
Hmm. And what about on the food side? Do you have a food menu?
We do, yes. Right now we have pastries, and we are actually working on expanding that food menu, which is going to be pretty exciting. So you have to stay tuned. Come December, I think we're going to be launching some fun new things and items for people to come in and enjoy.
Okay. And you mentioned that you're in the fall menu right now. How often do you change the menu?
It's seasonal,
Okay.
so mid-December, our winter menu will come up. So
Okay.
we work really hard to develop some creative flavors and profiles and try to have something that you wouldn't get normally somewhere else.
Hmm. Do you find that the majority of people do drinks that utilize your syrups, or they lean more towards, pour over or an espresso or whatever?
I think the majority of our sales are probably our seasonal menu drinks. Um,
Mhm.
we do have a lot of people who just love a cold brew or love their cortado.
Hmm.
But yeah, we do sell quite a bit of our seasonal menu.
Okay. And on the shopping side of things, what are some of the items you have available?
So right now, I think our most exciting item is probably we did a collab with Adventurist bags, and they're another local brand. And so what's really cool about them is they donate 25 meals with each purchase to Feeding America. So that's really a really nice collab for us. We've been really excited to work with them. They're another great local company, and so we've been really pleased with being able to present that option to our customers.
Very nice. What are some other things you have in the boutique?
So right now we've got our coffees, and we're actually in the midst of redoing most of our retail options. It's been a tough market out there, and several of the companies that we had worked with have had actually decided to fold.
Mm,
And so we're in the process of reevaluating how to reintroduce a lot of what our past retail had been.
okay. And with your coffees that are available by the bag, are they a whole bean or are they already ground?
They're whole bean.
Okay.
If you buy in store, we are happy to grind it to whatever your preference is. Yeah.
Okay, good. You clearly set out to do something that would have a positive impact on others and yourself. In what ways do you feel you're achieving that?
I feel like we have we've created something that came from a concept, and we weren't sure how this was going to go. And so we started with our very small little footprint where we are now. And we've gotten such great reception to it that, we're in the process of growing and building the business. And so I think that that's proven that our concept has is something that people would like.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. And so having come from such different backgrounds, you and your husband, from what you're doing right now, do you feel like you've been able to put all those skills to work in making the business a success?
I think so. I think so,
Mhm.
and beyond. I think it's been every day is using a different, I guess, different muscle memory in your
Mhm.
brain from past lives. But then we're also constantly challenged with new things that we need to think about, new things that we need to do. And so as I said, it's been a really interesting journey, and I think that there's been a lot of probably personal growth too. Learning what you're capable of, learning that flexibility is really, really important when you're in
Mhm.
business. And just knowing that whatever, I guess, challenge is thrown at us, that we can find some sort of a solution to it.
Mhm.
And knowing that you don't have all the answers is real important too.
Yeah, yeah. Do you overall, I mean, this is sort of a strange question, but in your innermost thoughts, do you feel like, yeah, this was the right thing to do. This was the right move in our lives?
I Yes, I do. I think so. I think that probably like every other person who started a business, you have moments where you say, "What are we doing?"
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and then something great happens, and you have a customer that says something really wonderful, or you have an employee say that they're just so happy to be a part of this story, or people that really believe in the brand and what we're doing and what we're trying to build and achieve. And then it comes back to, what, we're doing the right thing. We're on the right
Mhm.
path. It's one step in front of the other. It's being open to new experiences. It's being open and flexible about, like not having the answers,
Mhm.
thinking on your
Mhm.
feet. So, yeah,
Yeah, I get that. I like to ask next question of new businesses normally. So it's unusual that I'm asking this of you 2 years in, but when you were envisioning the business and when you were thinking about, this is what a great day is going to look like once we're open, was that vision different than the reality now?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
Um, I think I think in your mind you have things set as one way, and it's really hard until you have that experience, especially not having had a coffee shop before, to take that vision that you have in your mind, and then to I guess align it with the reality of every day. Um, but I think we're getting there, to feeling really, really great about everything,
Mm-hmm.
feeling like it's headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now, like when you think that was a great day
hmm
at work, what did that look like for you?
I think that a great day is, I guess it's a little bit of what I just mentioned a moment ago, where we either have a customer who um, gives us some really wonderful feedback, or actually, when we have employees who say that they're just really happy to be there and be happy to be part of this story and happy to help us continue to build this. Um, I think that that feels really great because you can believe in something, but having other people buy into that and want to help make it into what you think it can be, I think that feels really great.
Hmm. Yeah, that must be, I mean, obviously you need your customers to be happy because they're the ones bringing in the money, but that must be really, really wonderful to have your staff get it,
hmm
understand what you were in it for. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I know that comes through to the customers.
I
That
hope so.
definitely does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because
yeah,
I've been at restaurants and stuff where you can tell they're just going through the motion, asking the required questions that they're supposed to ask versus somebody who you can tell loves the food there, loves working there, and
yeah.
that they feel like what they're serving you is an extension of them and their own personal hospitality. So it sounds like you've definitely got some people there
We
who
sure do.
feel that way too.
Yeah, yes, and it's something we continue to work on and improve, and but it's really important.
Yeah, definitely. Well, how can people learn more about Lavender Coffee Boutique, both to visit in person and to order merchandise online?
Sure. So our Platt Park address is 1219 South Pearl Street in Denver. And we're also, as I mentioned, located within Club Greenwood in Greenwood Village. We're called the Coffee Bar down there. And then our new location is in Cherry Hills, and that'll be coming online, fingers crossed, pretty soon. I don't have a definitive open date yet. And then you can also find us online at lavendercb.com, and you can buy all of our coffees online there.
What about on social media? Where can we follow you there?
Sure. On Instagram, our handle is at lavender.cb.
We always have an associated article with our podcast that lives on ingoodtastedenver.com, and there you'll be able to press a button and listen to this podcast. But we'll have all the addresses on there that you want to share so far. Maybe I don't know if it's too early for Cherry Hills, and the link to your website and to your social media on Instagram so that people will see a picture of you and inside the boutique and some of your coffee products and kind of have a visual to go along with this. But the In Good Taste Denver podcast is also available pretty much anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcasts. So they can hear you, they can see you,
Great.
they can click to learn
Yeah.
more. So, Lindsay, thank you so much for doing this podcast with me. It's been very interesting, and I just wish you the best of luck, positive things in the new business as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was fun.